Hi Pisces, here is a general look at your solar chart for February 2016, and the sun is in quite a background, private sort of mood. Themes are more inward, mulling things over, maybe sensing, feeling, maybe feeling, noticing things that you don't notice normally. Others may not fully realize how much you're dealing with. Also, as the sun is in a karmic house, but this is no time to cling to ego, so let go of that, let go of analysis, and be there for another, and that could be the way it goes, or it could be that you have to let go and allow another to be there for you, Pisces. So now, until the 14th and the 17th respectively, Mercury and Venus actually are in a very outgoing area. So the theme of the sun really is kind of wanting to feel that energy which is beyond the physical, really. But where Mercury and Venus are, is it very group orientated, it's very sociable, gregarious, making connections, exploring different ideas, and maybe avenues of expression through what others' input is. Equally, others could be benefiting from your input, but you're feeling the support there because Venus will always warm up the area that she's in. So you tend to feel enabled, or you are seen as the enabler, and it could be like a specialist group of others, even networking, group gatherings, team efforts. Any of these could be highlighted from the position of Venus and Mercury. And you could also be benefiting materially through this area here, this area. This is a very technological area too. So in some expressions it would come out as you using the internet, and groups over the internet, that kind of thing. But then they both move. Mercury moves on the 14th and Venus moves on the 17th into the next area, which is the same one as the sun. So everybody for a few days there are in this area, which is just a more abstract in many ways, not as earthly, really, which is as a matter of fact your area, Pisces. So it can feel spiritual, it can feel artistic, it can be an area where you go for nurture and healing. It's an area where you listen to the deeper parts of yourself, or expanding to the higher sort of realms as well. Now, we've got a very long, unusual transit going on from Mars, which is actually pretty good at the moment. It's in Scorpio just now, so we got Mars in Scorpio until early March, which is amazingly good for your sun sign. It's expansive, it's exploratory, it's time for an adventure, basically. Time to leave behind that inner turbulence and step out, into something which is very different and uplifting, maybe, which is educational, which is teaching you a lot. This is definitely going to be the right year for a scheme or an enterprise or a series of schemes, maybe, or going on a journey. Many people will travel more with this one here for many Pisceans. It'll hop between Scorpio and Sagittarius and back again. So it's here until March, comes out, and then it goes back in again late May. And then you are pushing the envelope of daily life. Maybe different cultures, different languages could be coming in here in the coloring book here. It's definitely time to shake out the cobwebs with this one. And if you are sort of sublimating the urge to bust out and have an adventure, then it might back up in your system, so maybe don't do that, particularly when the sun comes into your sign from the 19th. The sun is in your sign, even though Mercury and Venus are still in the background area, but the sun comes into your sign at the same time as Mars is where it is. So this is a good time for improving things for yourself, taking definite steps, doing the sorts of things that you really enjoy, which make you feel empowered. and coming, things close to your heart, and really being a little bit more self-centered and getting on with those sorts of things. Saturn has returned to the top of your chart, will be there until late 2017, and this is a very dynamic position well, it's a dynamic planet in many ways, but it's a dynamic position for Saturn because it's very powerful, actually. I should say not dynamic so much, but powerful, because it's Saturn's own place. So Saturn will be working very well from there, even though there will be challenges from time to time for you Pisceans. As you clear the obstacles, this will help you to redefine slowly, gradually, over this 2 years, just about 2 years, your place in the world, how people see you. So you might find yourself sometimes kind of feeling the trail going cold and realizing you've taken the wrong turning. So you might have to retrace your footsteps and take that other fork that you should have, over the time. But you will be reaping the seeds. So look back 7 years and say, okay, where was I 7 years ago? What was I doing then? And this is the next step of building upon those things, weeding out what's not needed anymore, and building up that main structure or that main plant that you're growing in the garden. This is the time of the harvest with Saturn here. It's a very important time. You will be required to work harder at times, cultivating those in authority, maybe having more to do with officials and bureaucracy at times. But this transit may also emphasize the parental figures in your life as well. Look back those 7 years or even 14 years. It would be sort of 7, 8 years or 14, 15 years. You Pisceans born 3rd to the 7th of March with 13 to 17 degrees rising are going to feel that energy the most, but it'll be in the whole sign, of course. And then we have Jupiter opening the way to new growth through close personal professional alliances, meeting that special someone, maybe for some of you, feeling as though you really have a rapport there, or a series of them. This is going on until September, so this will be maybe new friends, but also potentially a new partner as well, clients also, and you thinking more expansively because of their input, because of their background, because of their knowledge. And you Pisceans born 8th to the 13th of March with 18 to 23 degrees rising, and feel that energy the most. Neptune is in its home sign, which is yours. So that where any planet in its home sign is in its exaltation, I think. It's been so long since I've been thinking about that sort of astrology, but it should be. It's working very, very well anyway from your sign. And whatever. What I mean is it's working very, very well through your sign in its maybe bringing out its purest, most ideal side. However, it is my duty to warn you of the pitfalls, and so being that prop for others is never the way to go for too long. Temporarily, maybe. We all need someone to lean on sometimes. But this is the time for you to be a bit more aware of how to schedule things, how to put your boundaries down, not in any mean-spirited way, I don't mean that, but because Neptune just dissolves boundaries all the time, so you have to put in the counterbalance to Neptune, you see. You Pisceans born the 25th to the 28th of February, or with 7 to 10 degrees Pisces rising, going to feel that energy the most. And I must say, you'll be getting used to this now, because Neptune's been in your sign for quite a while and will be in your sign for several years to come. And just a word on the Saturn-Uranus transit, which is going on just now. This is an interesting one for many of us, and means that you should be working steadily to improve something within the parameters of quite a structured or limited setup or scenario or contract or whatever. So steadily on something. Or I use the analogy of, say, you've decided to change your diet because of health reasons, or maybe just because you just want to feel more energetic, and you decide to go on raw food, maybe, or have a raw food sort of cleanse or something like that. So you've got to put away all your pots and pans and everything that you cook with, because you've got to learn this new way of doing cooking or non-cooking and eating. But that's within the parameters of something that you know a lot about traditionally over a long, long time. When you get hungry, you've got to cook, you've got to eat, you've got to shop, but you're shopping in a different way, and you're preparing the food in a different way. So it might be something like that, because this aspect is working within something old and traditional in a very different kind of a way, or it might be working within something very innovative and new and unconventional in a very traditional kind of a way. So either way, it's an aspect to make dreams come true. It's a very, very strong supportive aspect. And just a mention of Mercury and Venus at the very beginning of February, giving you insight, maybe somebody putting their cards on the table and pouring their heart out, or maybe you are. Maybe with some people you have to be a bit quieter about certain things. You've got to be a bit more kind of sleuth-like and sussing things and weighing things up. Could be a bit like that. It's not bad. It's just interesting, I think. And that's in a good angle, though, to your sun sign, so it very likely isn't bad. And that's it for February. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, listen to those. And this is written up on DianaGarland.com if you want to check anything out. And also I put another couple of videos out, astrological overview for 2016, and the overview for 2016, which is a bit different. It's got some input from the guides on that one. And I think that really is everything. I'll see you the next time.